What's up? What's up? Good to see you, everybody. Thursday evening. Goodness, the week goes by quick, doesn't it? Just like that. And all of a sudden it's halfway or you're a week through February in a snap of a finger. It's insane. Um, the older we get, the faster time goes. It's pretty wild. I've got the green in the background. Why? Because charts are green again. Everything's wonderful again. Right? So we're going to talk tonight a little bit about exit liquidity, liquidations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to talk about some stuff that seems super technical and complicated, but honestly, it's not really that difficult. And I want to show you all this for a reason, to kind of explain to you kind of the way we see things happen, the way we see things not happening, right? We never have the exact answer, but we try to get as close as we can to these things. One of the biggest important parts of being a good trader, you don't have to be a professional, but a good trader is when you're wrong, own that and flip the other way. When you're short and it doesn't work out, you got to flip into a long position. When you're long and the charts roll back on you, you've got to flip back short and get out of that. All right. It's pretty common to not want to do that. It's a pretty typical thing to think, nope, I'm right. I'm definitely right. And hammer that point home to the point where you mess up. So we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight as well. Without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? Let's go. If you haven't done so, please go hit like. 40 people on, 23 likes. We want to get to at least 100 people on here, and it'd be really awesome to get to 100 likes. Little by little, we're well over 10,000 people now. While you're there and you hit that like button, make sure you go ahead and do the notifications bell while you're at it. Perfect. That way you don't miss anything. And subscribe too. Yeah, there you go. Don't just come and lurk. Sound effects. So stupid. Let me say hey to everybody first before I get to cracking on this. The screen's going to get really bright in a second. Please bear with me, okay? I don't want to do dark mode on Google because it soaks up the data, right? Vintage Pennies, good to see you. Ron Poteet, Jacob Anderson, first three in here. Good to see y'all. What's up, Rob? Electric Ken, Crypto Ho, Educated Dummy. What's up, John? Good to see you. Carmine Glitch, good to see you. What's up, Jeremy Cousin? Frumpo, Jag, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Mark Estrada, how are you? Jerome says win 12K. Probably not going to happen. If you're still sitting on the 12K fence, you got left behind about 4 months ago, 5 months ago, a year ago, whatever. Again, when you're wrong, pivot, own it, and move on. Right? We don't sit and dwell on our mistakes. We fix them. Right? That's part of investing. When you're wrong, you move on. All right? Own it and move on. Musar, good to see you. Cycling Cotton, what's up? Good, Josh Udall. Andrew Ionescu, good to see you. What's up, Tari? Spock, Miss Ariana, how are you? Crypto Kitty, good to see you, ma'am. Brandful, Ronald, Colo, Bullish CEO, good to see you, brother. Jeremy Monroe, good to see you. Kaizen, I hadn't seen you in a minute. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Smith Slutty Rooster, how are you? Andreas HC, how are you? Tex, MC, Sir Sigma, Fritz, Distinctive Shine, Farood. Hey, good to see you all. And Jerome just laughed. I'm thinking he's trying to troll me, but I'm not sure. It happens constantly. Everyone loves to show up and troll the person on the screen. No one ever really steps it up and gets behind the screen themselves. Easy to talk big from the peanut gallery, right? No big deal. And if you're not trolling, it's all good, bro. I'm not mad. It's part of the game. People are going to come at me constantly. I can't stop it. What's up, Inferno Rain? Good to see you, brother. Haven't seen you in a minute. All right. So let's start with the current BTC move. I've got Bitcoin CME pulled up on there. What is Bitcoin CME? 12. Perfect. 12K is a Twitter meme. That's exactly. You know what? Now that you bring that up, I don't see. Here's a problem for me. When I don't follow a lot of people on Twitter, I don't see a lot of the same things you guys seen recently. When I quit Twitter, and I'm sorry, Jerome, if I took it the wrong, if I made you think I was taking it the wrong way. Recently, because I quit Twitter, I'm out of like the algorithm now. So all my algorithm is like sports stuff and like Watcher Guru and Zach XBT. I think that's about it. I don't really see much else. Unusual Whales. I see that one. He's posting a lot of charts about politicians and stuff, right? Not charts, information about politicians, how shitty they're being, right? I find that hella interesting. right? So I've been following along with that. But other than that, I've been kind of trying not to even look at it. I do enjoy the sports stuff. Like today, when I was out and about, I saw that the Hornets made a trade, right? That's what I want to be on Twitter for, is the sports stuff. I'm actually working on with another guy on perhaps creating a sports podcast. It's just not that easy, okay? It's kind of complicated. So we'll get there eventually. Nonetheless, Bitcoin CME. When I saw this big, ugly weekly candle pop up several weeks ago, I thought, gosh, it can't get any worse than that. This is clearly a deadlock symbol of ugliness. On the monthly chart, a spinning top candle floating above the rest of the candles. Surely it can't get more bearish or reversal potential than that. And what does it happen right behind it? Another green candle just keeps on going. I thought this stuff would go down farther than it did. All we got was a minimal retrace, I thought we would get much more than this. So when you're wrong, own it and go back to what you were doing. So all the positions, not all the positions, that's the wrong thing to say. A lot of the positions that I sold, I went ahead and started buying them, especially the bigger ones like ICP, Arbitrum, Velo, and some other ones. I went ahead and rebought those. And I also bought some of the other ones I sold. I didn't rebuy everything. I rebought some of the ones I sold just in case I'm wrong. I want to hedge my bets here because in an imperfect world, we have to admit when we're wrong. All right. We have to know it. I'm wrong. I owned it. Move on. Let's find something else, right? So Bitcoin CME chart on the daily here. What stands out? It just recently broke back over the 50-day moving average and hung out over the 50-day moving average for the last week and a half. I did not think this would happen. I thought this was a fake out. I thought we were going to see something like this and this thing roll over and fall right back down that 50-day moving average. And for what it's worth, we may still see that. All right. We may see this thing top out up here after it gets whatever remaining liquidity is up here. And let me explain to you what liquidity is now. This is going to get bright. I'm sorry. Good to see you, Don. Tom Paz Darka, Ron Poteet. Colo Colo says, I know we don't all do requests anymore. I'll say check out AVM and AIPG. Lots of X noise. Okay. Gotcha. So this is going to get bright. Bear with me, all right? I'm going to pull up CoinAnk. Now, a lot of people know what CoinAnk is. It's a really cool site. And again, I'm sorry it's bright. Let me explain. I'm going to drop the camera off here for a moment. All right. CoinAnk is an app that shows open interest on the charts. And it does this with highlighted colors, okay? And you can see the bright colors on the screen now. If you look right here, it shows you that blue or purple here is not very much open interest. What is open interest? Good thing you ask. Open interest is the amount of loans that are being taken on to make leverage trades. So if you've ever taken a leverage trade, you've learned that I put $10 on it, but it shows way more than that. That's because $10 at 10x obviously is $100. You borrowed $90 and you only used 10. All right. That means you've taken out a loan for $90. Imagine a whole bunch of people doing that all at once. All right. That's what open interest is. All that open interest forms and builds up. That's money that's borrowed and being pinned. All right. CoinAnk shows you the liquidations that are happening in both directions. What is liquidation? Well, if you've ever done a trade like that on leverage in futures or perpetual trades, you notice that once the trade starts to go wrong on you, you have a liquidation price where you lose all your money, right? This tracks it in an easy to see form. Now, I've got indicators that we can use on TradingView, but the colors sometimes help everyone see it a little better. So let me pull it back up. There we go. Didn't mean to hit the subscribe button. There we go. So orange and green up here are the max amount of open interest. As you see, it's very dark and purple up here. It's very dark and purple and bluish down here. However, you see all the recent yellow and you see the big bright yellow down here, okay? This is a 2-week chart. So what you're seeing is an hourly candle. These are all hourly candles over and over and over again, all right? Let me step it out a little bit to the monthly, and it's a little bit easier to see. All right, give it a second to refresh here. There we go. Here are all the shorts that were being taken on. All right, these were people who were betting against the market, and because of that, you see it kind of turned yellow right there. Lots and lots and lots of people were betting against the market. All right, to the tune of about $881 million, or roughly $1 billion. About $1 billion was being shorted against Bitcoin. Likewise, down here, similarly, 662 million worth of longs. As the price pushed up and attacked these liquidations, you start to see the yellow drop off and the purple come in behind it. That means there's not very many bets of short anymore. In fact, if you look up here behind the camera right here, there's hardly any yellow or orange up here at all. All right. This means effectively that Bitcoin has gone up and wiped all the shorts out, and anyone who was trying to short got absolutely wrecked. What does that mean for the long term? Well, good question. So the farther I step this out, the more big of a chart you'll see. All right. And you'll see different levels of liquidation as we go. Now, interestingly enough, if you look, I'll drop the camera back off. We have some more liquidations here. We're currently fighting through that. Price is what right now? 46.50. So we're actually a little higher than this, but it hasn't closed yet. We're above all of this green already. We're already over all that. We're into the purple. There's hardly any liquidations up here at all. In fact, you really only see liquidations left under the price. Down here, down here, down here. All these liquidations that are available, which are just under the previous lows. All right. I wanted you to see this so that you can understand that a lot of liquidations are left trying to take out longs, but not shorts. All the shorts have been wiped. So if you're a market maker and you're very, very aggressive and you want to try to rip people a new one, which happens all the time in case you don't know, you're going to go attack those shorts. Now look, all this long interest these are longs being taken right here. See that? I've stepped this down to 1 week. So all these candles are 30 minutes each. 30 minutes each, 30-minute candles. Longs are being taken under here. Lots and lots and lots and lots of longs are being taken. The purple is being replaced with green, isn't it? Right. So you're running out of shorts and only longs are piling in now. It's been my argument for quite some time, that there must be balance in all things, and charts are no different, okay? You cannot go on and on and on with only longs, or same thing goes for shorts. You can't constantly pound the short button. It's only a matter of time before those shorts eventually get wiped. There must be some balance. As you just saw on that heat map, where it's showing what liquidations are left, there are almost no short liquidations left to even take. Only long liquidations. So I ask you, if you go through Twitter right now, how many people are struggling to make money? Almost nobody. Tons of information is being thrown around that this coin is best and this one's going to do great and that one's going to do great. And almost no one is saying, hey man, has anybody taken any profits? Has anybody maybe secured the bag here? Or is it just lots and lots of, I'm buying this, I'm buying that, I'm buying this? And I'll go ahead and tell you it's the latter, not the former. Not very many people are taking profits. Most people are just throwing more money and throwing more money. It's really, really, really easy for everyone right now. That's a problem for me. I know it's not supposed to be that easy. And I know we're coming up on halving and everything else. It seems a little too convenient that all this is happening so fast. I'm not sure I buy it. Now, obviously, I cannot lie with the charts that we have here, okay? Clearly, this is a breakout, and clearly it's running up here, attempting to break up this recent closed high at about 47.5. That's my next target if it continues on this track, 47.5. After that, well, we have to reassess. We have to reassess every day. Like I said, when you screw up, you have to pivot. All right? When you're wrong, you have to pivot. I pivoted and rebought stuff that I was wrong about. I rebought most of this stuff for a discount. There's a couple I might not get a discount on. I didn't get a discount on ICP like I wanted. I didn't get a discount on Cardano like I wanted. I got a discount on pretty much everything else. All right. Arbitrum, all of them. I got a great deal on almost all of them. So I want you to keep in mind that this is way too easy for people. I made a video, a live stream talking about, Valentine's Day, that I thought around Valentine's Day, things may get ugly. I still think that's possible. And I still think the entire back half of February and the first half of March can be ugly. But don't hold your breath, because it may not work out the way you want. All right. We can set stop losses and be prepared. We can take profits along the way and be prepared. All right. Don't let anyone fool you. There's plenty of things to buy. Don't let me talk you into buying any one particular asset. I'm not a financial advisor, not financial advice. Please do your own thing. Just giving you the data that I see. Now, if anyone has any questions about what I just said, would you please type them over there in the chat box, and I will get to them, all right? It's not really as complicated as you think. It's not. Essentially, a bunch of people are trying to go long. Eventually, some of those guys are going to get wrecked. All the people who tried to go short, yeah, they got smoked, all right? Now, how long can that keep up? I beg you, tell me, how long can that keep up? Because I don't have all the answers. Everybody, I don't have all the answers. I'm imperfect. I'm going to come on here and say things sometimes that don't line up with what's happening. I'm going to come on here and be wrong and admit that I'm wrong in front of everyone. Let's talk about one I was wrong about, shall we? But first, let's say hey to everybody else who came in. Bullish CEO said, smash that like button, bro. That's exactly right. Go hit like. It's simple. Costs nothing. It's free to hit like. I know. I'm sorry about the white. My eyes hurt too, bro. Path of least resistance, gravity. Thank you. I believe if you want a good example of this, you might want to look back at the whole GameStop bill. Yeah, kind of, but that's a little different because there's a little bit more mechanics to that one. I can explain that one on another day. It's not quite as simple as perpetual futures. It's a little bit more complicated. Late longs. Thank you, Don. Yeah. Did you? Yeah, I watched the GameStop documentary. Please understand it's a little bit inaccurate, and I hope everyone caught the end where the diamond handers didn't make any money. I hope everyone caught that. Diamond hand people didn't actually make any money. The only people who made money were the ones who took profits. That's the moral of the story that I got. The only people who made money were the ones who took profits. The diamond hand people who were short got smoked. The diamond hand people who refused to let go of those longs and kept compounding and compounding and holding their options and holding their options, well, they're all down right now. So know that, all right? And it's a little bit more complicated than that, all right? There's more to it than that. Josh said, XRP to $10. I'm not mad about it. Say whatever we need to say, right? It's all good. Slutty Will, I'm going to have to rewatch this. Thank you. I'm glad you're watching it. I'm glad you want to rewatch it. 73 people on, 49 likes. I beg you, why not hit like button? It's free. It costs nothing, right? Nothing. Always take your profits, even if it's a little bit. I'm not saying take everything. You know, people like to go into excess and they buy everything and they sell everything. You can do 5% or 1% or 7% or 20%. Yeah, you don't have to go wild. All right, let's look at total market cap here. I want to talk a little bit about total market cap, Bitcoin dominance, and a couple other things. All right. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to draw that. You see my line where I took profits on a lot of stuff? I've rebought, so I'm going to erase this now. Green line is our halving line. We are steadily approaching it, aren't we? Yes, we are. So, are we overbought anywhere? Let's do that first. Number one, I said first. Let me do this. First, this looks just like Bitcoin, doesn't it? That's right, because Bitcoin is a massive percent of the market. Right now, Bitcoin is about 53.5%, a little bit less, 53.25% of the entire market is in just Bitcoin. That will go up at some point more. How much? Not quite sure. And then it'll drop when it's alt season. But it ain't alt season yet. All right. Clearly over the 50. You touched the 100 one time, just once, and then shot right back up. I'm not sure how much longer that can last. Again, you need to close up here at roughly 1.72, 1.73 trillion, call it 1.75. 1.73, that's more fair. 1.73. If we close above that, that's closing above the high, and there's a good chance you push farther. If the week ends and we close below this line right here, if we close below that red line, that's still technically not bullish. And I know what you're thinking. Why? Well, it's still technically a lower high. Even though it's a super high, lower high, it's still technically a lower high. We could end up with a double top here. All right? Just be mindful of that. Again, I rebought stuff, so I'm not telling you to go sell everything. But please have a plan. Please follow rule number 2 and have a plan to take profits, which is rule number 4. All right. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Let's look at a couple indicators. We got the 50 and the 100 and the 821 EMA up there. No big deal, right? How about some indicators? Here is the RSI. Look, after all this overbought, you went down, smacked inside the action zone right here between 40 and 50. Once you broke above 50, look, shot right back up, and it appears to be trending towards overbought again. I'll ask you, when was the last time that the market was oversold? All the way back here in August, roughly August, some September. It's been September, October, November, December, January, February. 6 months since the daily chart went oversold on most things. Again, I ask you, how long can that last? How long can this keep up? All right. If it's running hot, it's running hot, and I'll give you that because I've rebought. But how long can it last? MACD, she's turning back up after doing all this big run up here. Barely sold down on the MACD. Once that very short kind of sell volume faded away, it immediately shot back green. No real buildup in the histogram here. It just kind of really snapped into green real fast. All right. Kind of atypical. Look at weekly. This is where it gets interesting. Here's the MACD on total market cap. Now, you had this big run up. This was the bull run. Look at that. That was fun, wasn't it? And then we did it again in the end of 2021, and then it stopped. Look, last week, it looked like this was going to pinch and roll over. And in the span of a couple days, yeet, she shot right back up. Now, can this keep up? See how the histogram was starting to roll over and just this week has pinned a dark green bar in there? Right. Now it appears as though it wants to go up even more. Could this in a snap reverse? Yes. So please have some alerts set. Please be prepared. Things might get shifty. All right. It doesn't really matter if I'm on total market cap 1, which is this one, or total market cap 2. Here's total cap 2, which is everything excluding Bitcoin. Doesn't look quite so strong, does it? Now, obviously, it's not bad. This is a weekly MACD. That's trending in the right direction. It's okay. Same thing with RSI. Oh, look, went overbought. Hasn't been oversold since June of 22. We're working on 2 years. 2 years since total 2 was oversold on the weekly. I'm just saying that's tough, right? That's tough. Same way on the daily. It went oversold in September, so 5 months instead of 6. All right? Still darn near half a year of running hot. Running hot. I'm here for it. Don't get me wrong. I want to see it keep going. But dang, y'all. It appears as though it may have jumped trend. I'm not positive here yet, just so far on total 2. Here's total 3. Total 3, in fact, did crack this little short-term trend and has poked its head up. It's over the 50. Can it hang on? We're going to find out. If it can hold on, it's approaching the big trend line right here. Can it break that trend line and stay above? We're going to find out. Halving is right here. Okay, that yellow line that's not straight at all. Hold on, I'll get you a straight line in here. Grab my vertical line tool right here. Right. 29, 22, right there. There's halving. We're rapidly approaching it. If we're going to get a retrace, it's going to be between here and here. Well, let me take that back. From here to roughly here. If it doesn't happen by then, folks, it might not happen. All right. And we may just have price action roll all the way till halving, and then we'll make a decision. But things are somewhat similarly replicating 2016, somewhat similarly replicating 2020. I lean more toward 2016 than 2020, and I can show you that in a moment. If anybody has any questions about this, please shoot them over in the chat right here in the live chat, and we're happy to get to them. 50K is possible, but 47.4, 47.3 is first. All right. What's up, Ron Wilson? Good to see you, brother. Glad you're here. Let's see. Can I use ANK info, long shorts, and candle volatility to surmise where things will top and bottom out? Kinda. Be careful because it's low time frame stuff, okay? And low time frame stuff can sometimes make you lose sight of the bigger picture. I don't want you to fall into a trap. This is eerily like last year on March 10th. Remember that day distinctly because I was in Costa Rica. WTF, too high and drunk to do anything, and it backfired on you. Yeah, March 10th, you saying? And guess where I'm going again? This exact same week, bro. Question is, are you going to have some alerts set and some stop losses set? Because I'm supposed to go do some stuff here soon too. Look, I'm going to have a miserable Valentine's Day. And while I'm on that subject, let me apologize. I went off in Discord the other day and I shouldn't have. That's on me. I got to learn to control myself a little better. People constantly, every single day, try to get under my skin. Sometimes they just do it publicly. I shouldn't have even responded, but I did. You can go find that in the general chat of our Discord. That's fine. I'm over it now, and I honestly laughed at myself about it afterwards. But if you'd like to see that and join us in working together constantly to find the best charts, the best buys, the best sales as a group, as a team, well, then what are you waiting for? Come check us out right here at Team 786, brother. WAP.com/Team 786. It's easy to do. Just use your Discord, jump on there, click log in, sign up. You get a free 30 days. It's a free 30-day trial to check it out and see what you think. If you don't like it, you can move on. It's no big deal. But we're all working together, doing the best we can. My portfolio is in there. We have spreadsheets in there available for you to use. I've got channels where I talk about just what I'm buying and selling. I've got every trade that I do pinned up for everyone to see the day I make the trade, sometimes the minute that I make the trade. We have a Forex room, a stock room, a beginner's chat. We have threads for anyone who wants their own thread so they can go in and document everything that they're doing as a journal online in our Discord for you. WAP.com/Team 786. Doors close soon. If you don't get in soon, you won't get in. At Halving, the doors shut and there's no new people coming in. All right? Please understand, when the doors shut, I might not ever open them back up until the end of the bull market again. All right? So if you're not in then, you might not get in. And for what it's worth, we may stop doing these YouTube streams at some point also. So I'm not the average influencer. I'm not those regular people. I'm a normal guy, and I'm happy to tell you I'm imperfect and I screw things up all the time. Please know that sometimes I'm going to be wrong, and I'm happy to say I'm wrong. All right? Go find another influencer who talks about how wrong he is. That's all I can say about that. All right. Yeah, so I'm going to have a miserable Valentine's Day. I've got to go do some other stuff, and it's not going to be fun. And I think that may be when all this down starts. We're going to find out. One step at a time. I don't want to cross that bridge till I get to it. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance real quick. All right. Bitcoin dominance kind of goes like this. I thought back in looking at the charts. Let me erase some of this stuff here. Looking at the charts, this was last run. All right. We made this really, really abrupt run up in 2019. Kind of hit the golden pocket. That's what this box is, a golden pocket retrace from the top up here, right? From the top to the bottom and then back up was a golden pocket retrace. All right. Then it fell off the cliff after having, you see, it kind of got a little volatile. If you were to take out the pandemic move here, it's kind of sideways. Yeah. It's kind of sideways. In fact, you could argue that it kind of looks like what it's doing right now. I'm not sure I'd make that argument, but I would understand if you tried to make it. All right. Nonetheless, she stair-stepped her way up to the golden pocket. Now, I've pulled fibs on this one for you automatically from the top, right, to the bottom, roughly. And it's retraced its way back up, wiggling all the way through, and has slapped that 50 fib and made what looks to be a double top, yet it keeps trying to power back up. Every time you think it's losing a little bit of grip, it comes back, pulls that grip back, and says, nah, I ain't falling off the cliff just yet, all right? So, if we look at some moving averages, here's the weekly moving averages. You just had a golden cross on the weekly moving averages here. Right there. See that? BTC golden cross. It's the second golden cross ever. Here's the first one. Look what happened back then. You had a golden cross and then the squadoosh. She came running down afterwards. All right. Right there was your golden cross. You can see the yellow line sweeping upward through the red line right there. That's a golden cross. And I'll take it off where you can see it a little better here. Let me eliminate some of this like that. There you go. There you go. You can see it better now. Yellow crossing up through the red. That's a golden cross. Here's where that golden cross happened. Now, same thing. Are we going to come back down here and have a soft cross? Or are we going to sit here and idle and it'll be different this time? Well, I would love to know the answer to that. I super would. It appears to me that this thing wants to take another run at the golden pocket up here, which is roughly 57%. If Bitcoin dominance continues to run, this is the level that I would look for. All right, that 57% or so dominance. From there, that would be previous cycle or post cycle, last cycle, all-time high for Bitcoin dominance. Not forever all-time high, but last cycle all-time high. So from there, what happens? Well, one can surmise that we roll back over and everything starts to follow Bitcoin, right? All the way till 2025, where everything goes down, right? And then we should lose dominance and it should fall all the way back down here and find some sort of base structure, whether that be a higher low, if it wants to be a higher low like that, or it wants to be an even low. And it's even possible that this thing just dribbles and comes down here and rides the bottom, and we try this all over again in 2027, 2028, 2029, and 2030. All right. That's when our next bull market will be after this one. All right. 2029, 2030. 2028, 2029. Right. Unless that's 4 years. Yeah, that's 4 years. So we'll see when we get there. Baby steps. All right. One thing at a time. I like the way this looks. I really do. I think it appears as though it wants to take back even more dominance and keep trying to run. Cool with it. Let it happen. All right. As we see on the daily chart here, it's a little different. Let me put the other moving averages up here. Here's the 50, 100, 200. As you see, they are balling up all together. Price is now back over it. All three of them. These moving averages act as rolling support and resistance. All right. If the price is over it, bueno. Price is under it, es no bueno. And as you see, we are over them. Great. Let's see if it can hang on and keep up here. Now, I'm hopeful that others continue to do this. We can't be for sure. Let me show you others.d now. Here's everything excluding the top 10. All right. What's top 10? Go check out CoinGecko. It'll help you out with that. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, ADA, Binance Coin, Chainlink, and a few others are top 10. All right. Then you got some stable coins in there too, right? USDT, USDC. I think they're both top 10. Nonetheless, here is a pure power move. Look at that. Just straight up. However, look what's happening as we say that. I don't remember what I was drawing here. As we say that, look, we have lost the 50-day moving average, and others are starting to lose the 100. Do you see that? Candles are starting to fade and fall under that 100-day moving average. This is others.d. Others.d is everything but the top 10's percent dominance of the market cap. And my camera's in the way. As you see, about 12% of the market is everything except the top 10. So the top 10 cryptos hold 78% of the market cap. The top 10 hold 78%. That's pretty wild, isn't it? If you didn't know that, you know it now. All right. So let's go check out some more comments real quick. You guys are talking away over here. Why do people say halving instead of having? I don't mind it, but I never. Well, I'm an idiot and my grammar skills are terrible, and you guys know I can barely read as it is. I'm a little self-conscious about that, but whatever. I can't fix it unless I tried to go learn how to read better. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, my brain doesn't work that way. I'm more of a visual learner, not a word learner. So I'm gonna say stuff wrong sometimes. I'm sorry. All right, let's jump into some other ones. How about a couple charts versus Bitcoin? Because that's another thing that I found interesting. How about Ethereum versus Bitcoin? As Bitcoin dominance continues to grab power away from everything else, look what Ethereum has done. Ethereum was all the way over top of the 200, acting like a big dog, wasn't it? Pap, slapped him across the face, and she come right back down like a dirty hooker in the dark. All right, so now what? She's falling under all the moving averages. I will give you this. It's kind of bouncing around the range where I thought it may bounce. Kind of hanging out right there. Somewhat took out this low, aka chasing the liquidity, right? There is no open interest on this one. I'm just talking about the terminology. Still hanging out in the range though, and still hanging out to this big fib line right here, this big overall 236, which happens to run out in the summer. Now, what's going to happen here? Is this going to continue to tail off and fail? It kind of looks like it to me, like it doesn't want any part of this. It looks like it wants to lose some steam. That being said, it may shoot up another couple candles, but I kind of expect it to range here for a little bit. I'm not sure how far, maybe something like this. Just range over sideways a bit. It's hard to say. Tough call. I'm watching as best I can. How about XRP versus Bitcoin? Well, what do you think? Of course we knew it was going to happen here. This has happened before. What am I talking about? Well, you sure you want to hear this? I put this out on Twitter a while back, and I said, we are here. I went on Twitter and I put this and I said, we are here with these green arrows. Yeah. I said, here's the first green arrow. Look what happened after this thing bounced off support. It shot up a little bit, and then XRP dominance just rolled back over like it didn't happen. All right. Then as we worked through 2019, we worked our way back down, blah, blah, blah. Little by little, she tried to regain strength, but she never really did. All right. We came across the end of 2019, 2020 happens. Oh, look, right here's 2020, pre-pandemic right here, under the orange line, yeah? Fast forward, 2024. Same thing. We popped up, acted like we were going to do something. Oh, no, we fell under the orange line, under that orange support. Now we've ran down, and here we are, still tailing off just as fast as we can. This thing can't sell off fast enough. Weekly is almost oversold on Bitcoin. I'm sorry, XRP versus Bitcoin. What does this basically mean? Well, at some point, XRP is going to do a little better than Bitcoin. But for what it's worth, it ain't exactly now. All right? As you can see, it ain't liking this. Not even a little bit. And last time this happened, look how far it fell before it finally caught up and took over against Bitcoin. That was all the way in October of 2020, well after pandemic and recovery. All right? So please understand, this is getting tough. It could be tougher, and I wish it would be better, but XRP dominance ain't liking it. I'm hopeful that changes. It ain't yet. It just hadn't yet. You know what I mean? I want it to, but she seems a little upset. Now we're dropping a couple frames. I'm trying to let it cool off here. It's very angry with me. What I'm thinking about doing is scaling back on the resolution, because I know this is super high resolution right now, but what happens is when I do this, I see a red box pop up. It's dropping frames. When it does that, it tells me that it's not streaming the quality that I want it to and the speed I want it to. It's tough on it to push out this high quality stuff. So I might scale that back a little bit in time. I haven't made my mind up on that one yet. What's up, Cleve, by the way? I missed what you said a moment ago. My fault. Let me go back up here. Does it not usually dip right after halving? Good question. Let's go look at that. Let me pull up the Bitcoin all-time chart for you here, and let's analyze, shall we? I have a couple of them. I believe I can do the index. Yeah, here we go. All right. So let's go all the way back to the beginning, shall we? Here's 2012 halving. Look how much this thing fell after halving. You see that? One little red blip after halving. So, no, there was no retrace after halving in 2020. 2012. How about 2016, right? It usually dips after halving. Well, look at this. It threw a whole month's worth of red right after halving. Look at that. Interesting, huh? Pretty cool. This one actually ran up till right before halving and then threw a red candle right there. Do you see that? Potentially, that's happening right now. This is why I say I lean a little bit more toward 2016 than 2020. And while I'm at it, let me show you this. In 2016, we had the previous year before a low, and in 2016, we made a high right at the end of the year, a higher high, right? Then we had a little bit of a pullback after halving. Let's go look at 2020. Here is 2020. Here is 2019, the year before halving's high. And here's 2020 at the end of the year. What did it do? Hey, everybody. That's a lower high, not a higher high. This thing was making a lower high before any viruses became a thing. Interesting, huh? Before anything happened, it was making a lower high, a downtrend. It was already making a downtrend beforehand. If you look at it that way, you kind of don't care. Now, after halving, what happened? Obviously, this is a little wonky, but after halving, what happened? You had a couple little bit of blip down here, red, and then for what it's worth, it never failed again. It stayed riding after that. Just a little bit of down after halving. Not much at all. And again, it was kind of choppy because of the whole pandemic move and then the back up, whatever. And again, we can measure that and see that this was not a perfect, but almost a perfect 1618 in here. It's actually a 1414 retrace. See that? 1272, 1414, 1618. Any of these three down here where you set a buy, you were tits. Look at that. You had a perfect play. And for people to say, I bought it at 3,800. No, you didn't. You're a damn liar. You tried to, but you didn't buy that. Everyone likes to say they did, but they didn't. I didn't. I bought XRP down there. What an idiot. I did well on XRP. I'm talking crap. So I lean toward 2016 now. Here we are. Fast forward. We did a similar little blip like 2016, but since then, we haven't really pulled back. So do we continue this move up toward here and then slow down just before halving? One little blip? I don't know. That's a tough call, isn't it? Again, where's the pain? I've seen nobody struggling. Everybody's living their best life right now on all this stuff, just absolutely smoking it with prices. You're buying everything you can possibly buy. Man, that seems sketchy as hell to me. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, I'm like, man, I've got a pretty good nerve for all this. Like, I can take some punishment. But dang, watching everybody so easily make money, especially degenerates, it's tough, dude. That's tough, bro. So, glad you asked that. Fool's gold. Yeah, I'll have to say it's just like it will have its day. It's just not today, like he said, right? We'll see. Is your OBS using your CPU or your GPU? Bro, I don't know. Let's see. Been a week. Yeah, preaching to the choir, brother. There's a theory that the majority of BTC moves happen 90 days before halving. It's between 90 and 60 days. That's the thing. Not just 70 or not just 90. We've kind of measured this out a few times already. Okay? Like I just showed you, it's tough. It's like an alt season. Yeah, and it's not alt season. I just showed everyone there. Bitcoin dominance just ripping, right? It's clearly not alt season. Alts are doing okay, but they're following the leader right now. There are some that are breaking out. Now, let me show you some charts that I was wrong about. Can I? Well, I'm going to do it anyway. ABT arc block. Now, interestingly enough, a live stream previously, I said, hey, this thing's in a big fallen wedge. It was doing this really ugly move right here. And while it was bouncing around on support, I'm like, hey, I don't know if I want to take a chance on this because it hasn't done anything, right? It's just sitting flat, doing nothing. So when the time came and everything started to pop off right over here in October, in case you don't know that, go look at everything that I bought and everything that everybody else bought. lots of gains got made, didn't they? Lots of gains got made. Okay. Now, since all those gains got made, did you buy every chart? No, you didn't buy every chart. Did you buy just one? Most people know you bought many. This is a situation that happened in general chat where someone had been piling money in this for a really long time, finally got the perfect buy, which I don't believe, and told me all about why it went up, because the team and the tokenomics, and they've got partnerships, and go find those actual things on the companies that they've partnered with websites. Doesn't exist. I looked it up myself. Now, did it do great? Yes, it did. It did awesome. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So I'll grab this all-time high back here, and we'll pull her down like this. So on a short term, this thing broke north and did a 2.272 blow off top on the short term right here. On the long term, she tried to push through Sniper's Alley, and look what happened. How do we get her name, everybody? Right there. Headshot. Boom. And Sniper's Alley wins again. Now, obviously, it can keep going here. This weekly chart's throwing a wick. I don't like that. I would prefer if it didn't throw a big wick at the top like this, especially at Sniper's Alley. It may not be a fast retrace. It may be a slow retrace, meaning it may get hung up in here in Sniper's Alley and the Golden Pocket. And for what it's worth, it may not go any lower than that. All right. Of course, we can watch it as we go. If I go down to daily, you can see that it is starting to feel the effects of all this up. All right. It was absolutely smoking hot on the chart. Couple candles of red, and you got a little bit of green behind it now. Okay. Again, has she failed anything that you don't want to see it fail? As far as the 821 EMA go, which would be like your first leading indicator, she's still over the 8. So technically, no. It's technically not even a, oh my God, run away. It might be a take profit, but it's not a, oh my God, run away. All the RSI, dude, it was at 93. Absolutely cooking. And it was at 95 before it started its pullback. MACD, come on, bro. You really think that can keep up? Realistically speaking, no. All right. And if we look at the weekly, it's not much different on the weekly, right? Look at that RSI on the weekly. 97 RSI on the weekly chart. Yeah, sure, that can keep going. But is it likely? Probably not. All right. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Let's keep it real here. MACD, super big divergence here. Massive amounts of histogram volume coming in. Got to own it. This thing took off and went like a rocket, and it was one of the best performers. So all I can really say is I was wrong. I hope you took profits, and I hope you continue to take profits throughout the bull market. It's a vital part of investing. You cannot always just buy. Sometimes you got to get some money out and make your bank. All right. Don't be the guy who gets left behind. I don't want to see anybody get left behind. I want to see everybody straight kill it. Okay. I want to see everybody kill it. I don't want to see anybody get left in the dust. Let's see. Pre-estimated halving date, which is now April 18th. So it's sped up a little bit. All right. Yeah. Again, some of you guys are seeing that. It was like 63, 65, 70, somewhere around in their days before halving. Tough, right? So that's what I'm kind of talking about. I don't want to push the limit here to the edge, right? There's a certain amount of greed that comes with selling everything and sitting in stable coins because you're king shit, and you're not, right? And I'm smart enough to know that I'm not king shit, and I need to like pump the brakes sometimes. So I can start buying stuff back in batches, playing it safe. And if it wants to fail, I can bail again. It's okay. Here's LCX, which is on Coinbase. Another one that ran super hot. Look at that RSI, 92 on the weekly. 92. Show me all the other ones that the weekly look like that. Sniper's Alley, though, same thing. There's Sniper's Alley playing ball again. You're getting a headshot. Question is this high enough for you to take profits, or are you going to push the boundaries some more? How far you want to push it? Up to you. Make your own choice. Here's Ronin. Thanks to a guy in Discord. I forget your name. I'm sorry. I think it was Ronaldo. But he brought up Ronin to me. Absolutely flying. Look at that. Just king shit killing it. broke a new all-time high, and now it's kind of sitting back on it. Want to see the RSI? All the way up to 90 RSI, and it was actually a little higher than that before the pullback started. MACD, yeah, screaming high, screaming high. You've got a big solid red weekly candle up there now. Let's see how long this holds up. I've got some retrace levels drawn here in these boxes where I think it could come back to. And for what it's worth, some of these may not come back too far. All right, they may never come back down to super low again. They may just hang out up here and make these short-term little retraces. All right, we've seen it before. This is what the bull market does. It makes you think things are going to sell off, and they just keep on clicking up. All right, seen it before, probably going to happen again. Short term, it looks like it's heading to the 50-day moving average, though. Yeah. All right. The best thing to hodl is profits. That's exactly right. All right. Now, someone asked about a couple tokens way up here, and I want to go back to them because you asked very nicely. AVM and AIPG. AVM. It's a DEX, isn't it? AVM. This is the cool thing about not being on Twitter. I don't see any of this crap. This in here, I guess you're talking about. Satoshi VM. Is this the one? I think so. It's got $22.5 million market cap. $4.6 million in liquidity on the DEX. Mintable. Let's see. It's a roll up layer 2. I've seen a few of these roll ups come out. I think a lot of people got airdrops on this, didn't they? Or something. I don't really remember all the details. But yeah, I don't hate it. I just don't like the lower high that it's made right here. Got this high. I want to see it make a higher high, not a lower high. It needs to come up here and do that. However, not terrible. You know, let's see it break trend. Let's see it do something else here instead of driving sideways. There's a possibility that it does break. I don't hate it. I mean, it might be worth throwing a couple bucks at. AIPG. I think this is the one you're talking about. Juan? Nah, this can't be the one you're talking about. It's got to be something else. But yeah, there's your Satoshi VM one. I think that has gotten a lot of hype. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's not. I might be this. Is this what you're talking about? This ain't what you're talking about. It's something else that you're talking about. That ain't the same thing. Yeah. He said that was a rug. No such thing as EVM on BTC. There you go. Just pointed out for people. Hey, Alan. Good to see you, brother. Thank you. Tal, yeah. Bit Sensor was another example. Thank you, Don. Here you go. Let's pull that up. I didn't buy this because of the people who did and the influencers that were pushing it. When that kind of stuff happens, I tend to shy away. This was one of my shied away on. But look, it's making me own it. Look at this thing, just absolutely printing. Can't hate on that a bit. I'm not going to buy it. There's plenty of other ones to buy. And I know people are going to hate me for saying that. Oh, you're stupid. You should buy it. I get it. I get it. I understand your bitterness. It's fine. I get it. Why am I not buying it? There's so many other ones to buy. Just find something else. It's about all I want to say about it. Instead of going down a rabbit hole, it's just going to get me in more trouble. What are my thoughts on Matic? I haven't bought Matic yet. It's one of the ones I didn't buy back, and I'll tell you why. Right there's why. Kind of stuck under those moving averages and kind of underperforming compared to the others. Okay, and if I look at weekly, it's kind of caught in this mash of moving averages. Look at all the weekly moving averages balling up here. So I think this is likely to chop here. Right? I don't want to get stuck in the chop. If that's the case, I don't want to get stuck in the chop. Now, can it jump over and sit up here first and then move? Yeah, I'm here for that. Just not sold exactly yet. So as you can see right there is where I sold, and I haven't bought it back. It's pretty much exactly where I sold it. So I'd be none the worse if I went ahead and bought it back, right? I think I want to wait a little bit. I bought some other ones. I don't want to go crazy and buy everything. I got a good bit of stable coins, and I kind of want to sit on them. Yeah, there you go. I bought back half and still have half on the sideline. I think that's a wise thing. And then if it doesn't work out, you can bail. You know what I mean? And then you're none the worse. That way you didn't risk too much, but you risk some trying to make some money. Because you got to risk some sometimes to make something. You can't just sit on your hands forever. And then you're a politician. All right, what's up, Guillermo? Good to see you, brother. Definitely underperforming. I would agree. That and quant. Like if we look at quant real quick. I'm only going through all these for some examples. You guys can see them, right? So quant is sitting on the 200, and I do think there's a solid possibility this thing breaks off this 200 and runs back up here to the 50 and the 100. There's also a possibility that this thing falls under the 200 and does what XRP did and just fail. By the way, let's look at straight up XRP on the chart. All right, this is my actual buys and sales here. Right there they are. All right. I recently rebought this. I have $1,000 or so worth of XRP. That's it. As you see, it bounced off this Sniper's Alley, which was the green box that I drew here. Sniper's Alley on the way down. All right. It bounced off that. It's currently over the 8, but under the 21. That's the wait a minute zone. I'll zoom in for you so you can see it. And see, we dropped 6% of the frames on this stream. That sucks, dude. So there you go. See that? We dropped 6% of the frames. We can do better than that. So, I'm sorry, 6%. We're stuck in between the 821 EMA. I need to see this improve and get over the 21 so that it can attack these other moving averages that are up here. And if you look closely, this trend line and this 50-day moving average are damn near identical to each other. All right. So, I think it's a distinct possibility that this thing does move up just enough to tag this 50 EMA and get stuck, and then roll over, and we have an absolute nightmare on our hands. So let's be very mindful of what we're doing. What mid cap do I think has the best X factor? Mid cap. Oh man. Aptos maybe. A0, one of those. Those are mid caps. So, listen, this is a pretty awesome stream. We didn't have 100 people on. I think we had 81 at one point, but 138 different people came to watch, which is awesome. 73 likes. That's awesome. I appreciate every single one of y'all coming on here and hitting like. We only do these an hour a week on the public. We also have what you guys don't see is we do this also over in the Discord. All you have to do is show up to the Discord. The link is down below in the description of this video. You can get free access to our Discord. It's just in the general chat, but we post the streams for everyone to see. I often do voice chats just randomly. Our moderators and admins do voice chats just randomly, all right? Just to hang out and talk to people about different charts and different strategies. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all so very much. Even if you don't like me, I appreciate you listening. I really do. And I don't mean that sarcastically at all. I mean it fully genuinely, all right? I'll leave you with these. You could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be here with me. And I appreciate that so much, dude. I really do. Make the best of your days, the worst of your tomorrows. And if no one else told you they love you, just know that Keith loves you, all right? Y'all be good. I'll see you next week, same time. Live Zoom for the subscribers after this over in the Discord. See y'all soon. Sky's the limit. Y'all be good. Peace.